Howdy, brothers and sisters. Uh, been in some conversation with two wonderful people. Ain't got nothing bad to say about them at all. Uh, God fearing, God loving, have no doubt in that in my mind. But I did a speaking a while back on unmerited mercy or something like that, undeserved mercy. Uh, and I want to address this issue again on undeserved mercy. Now, in Jeremiah, it tells us that we will no longer have to teach our neighbor and brother to know God, for they will know God. So tonight, we're just going to speak as people who know God. I don't need no Bible with me. I ain't going to read no scriptures. We just going to talk about the God we know. Now, we know this. God is love. We know that without a doubt. I don't need a Bible to tell me God is love. Because when He entered me, He changed me. I was once full of hate and bitterness, and that's no longer there. So see, I know God is love. I don't need a Bible to tell me. I pray that that's the same for you. You know, and I heard this old story a long time ago, and I believe it fits the bill here. An old man told me one time, he said, Anthony, if you was the only living soul on this world, God would have died for you. He desires to be reconciliated with you. He desires for you to become His beloved. So I just can't see in the scriptures, and I don't care about translations. I believe that the Holy Spirit can speak in the King James, the ESV, the CEV, the NIV. I ain't going to box up the Holy Spirit and say He can't speak in some other translated, because I got news for you, brothers and sisters. The King James is translated too. It's just another translation. So we don't need to make an idol out of the King James. I'm a King James man, always have been, always will be, but I will not box up the Holy Spirit in the manner that I had to tell somebody, if you ain't reading the King James, you're not reading God's true word. See, I don't have the authority to do that. So let's get back to, we know God. Speaking as those who know God, we know God is love. We know God is full of mercy. That's right. There's nothing I could have ever done in my life where I was undeserving of God's mercy. And woe to you people that tell someone that. We had a little girl in our house one time. I came home from work. She was just crying her little eyes out in my bedroom there with my wife. And I walked in and asked what was wrong. And her mom told her that God didn't want to have nothing to do with her no more. This is where this undeserved mercy and undeserved grace and all this leads to. We need to stop saying it and speaking it, because it's not scriptural. It's not of God. Everyone is deserving of God's mercy. It says whosoever. You may tell you, the people that at one time thought that people didn't deserve God's mercy, them religious Jews. Yeah, them Pharisees and Sadducees and all them, yeah, they didn't think nobody. Gentiles didn't deserve God's mercy. They was undeserving. You know what God said? They're just as deserving as anyone else. Now, what we need to do is understand the separation of receiving mercy and not receiving mercy. Just because I didn't receive mercy does not mean I was undeserving of it. God tells us to be merciful as He is merciful. So, I mean, we need to, just, we have a lot of people filled with knowledge, but they've yet come to the understanding of everyone is deserving of God's mercy. No one. When He breathed breath in Adam, from that moment on, all mankind deserved God's mercy. Did they receive it? A lot of them didn't, but that don't mean they weren't deserving of it. That's called righteous judgment, and that's a whole different area. We can't say because God did this to certain people they were undeserving of mercy. Because, see, God says He's no respecter of man. God doesn't separate us and say, matter of fact, if you start saying God says, okay, this person deserves mercy, but this person don't deserve mercy, you've just entered Calvinistic theology. And me, the God I know, says that we all deserve mercy. I would never plant a seed into an unbeliever's mind if they overheard me speaking. Because you know something, there's a lot of hurting folks out there. They are. They believe that they don't deserve love. They don't know what the love of God is yet. They still thinking of worldly love, but they think that they don't deserve love, and they can take that heart that they're undeserving of love because of whatever the situation. There's many situations that create this mindset and this heart set that they're undeserving of love. They can take that and they can look at God the Father in the same way. I've heard them. Well, I don't deserve God's love. I've done this. You know something? At one time, man, I was a wicked, wicked old boy. And you know something? God said I was still deserving of His mercy. I was still deserving to be reconciled to Him and become loved by Him. Now, like I said, no Bible reading tonight, because I'm speaking as one who knows God, prayerfully to another one who knows God. Brothers and sisters, there's no such thing as undeserved mercy, undeserved grace, undeserved anything in God's eyes. All are deserving. He died. Do you understand that? He came down here in the flesh, and what happened to Him, not just on the cross, but on the way to the cross, all them sorrows, all them torments of His people rejecting Him because they didn't even recognize Him. All that torture He went through, all them sorrows, He did it. Why? Because He knew that one day, way down the road, some 2,000 years, that there was going to be an old boy named Anthony Terry, and he would deserve His mercy, just like He knowed about you. So, is there such thing as undeserved mercy, undeserved grace, all that junk, all that hogwash? No, brothers and sisters, there's not. There's not. So, I just wanted to drop in. Like I said, I've had a wonderful conversation with two folks in a group. I finally found a group I kind of like. These two people they're really nice, really polite. They don't backbite. They don't devour. These are some loving people. I've gone to their side. They elderly folks like me, and wonderful, gracious people. And I just felt led to come out here and make a little, to do. I'm making them shorties today, and you know something, I kind of like these shorties. I'm sure y'all do too. Uh, but hey, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. And I'm always praying for those things needful.